I think there's a real growing movement, not only in the United States, but around the world. I've seen even in Australia, groups around trauma informed school development in thinking about the trauma that our children come to school with each day. Homelessness as a form of trauma, poverty as a form of trauma, hunger as a form of trauma, certainly the violence that we see on the news as a form of trauma to us all. And so when we think about trauma informed school development, we think about kids who come to school unable to learn because of the trauma that they are faced with in their day to day lives. And what I'm interested in learning more about is how we help these kids begin to learn again. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not saying nobody's capable of learning and somebody stopped learning, but for anybody who's truly been traumatized by a life event, you need some time to heal. And if you've got to be at school the next morning with your peers and you've got an educator expecting you to memorize a definition or a fact or take a test, that actually compounds the trauma. I don't know what they could look like, but I picture these like creative computer science hubs, these places of creativity. And right now, they exist already. They have these healing circles at schools, social justice circles, and they have different names that involve kids create color. They tell stories, meditation. There's art and motion. They're very safe spaces. They're not a lot of cognitive load. I want to know what might be possible with some creative digital technologies in those spaces, not for consuming, not to play with robots to feel better. I'm talking about what if picking up a paintbrush was just as easy as picking up a microbit in trauma-informed school development practices. By 2030, $6 trillion will be spent on behavioral health. That's more than diabetes, respiratory illness, and cancer combined. Do computer science educators consider themselves to be healers? If not, why? And how can we help more to think of themselves as healers?